Bitcoin continues to fall, where will we see this bounce? Guys, welcome to Empire Trading Academy. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you have not already, and let's get right into this. We're doing technicals first. We'll get into a little bit of on-chain after, so stick around for that crucial metric. But first, let's look at the technicals. You know that past couple days, Bitcoin has just been falling and falling, right, guys? Okay, we're looking at the daily chart right now. And we're seeing that we are getting some type of a bounce off of this $37,000 level. Okay, this is a big level here. This is what we used on a correction back in July in this impulse move. Okay, and so we know that this is going to be something of a decent short-term support, right? Now, you know that the biggest thing, we'll go to the weekly, you know that the biggest thing that we were watching for a long time was this area right here, right at 46,000. Okay, we got this double wick on the weekly. While we were watching this descending trend line that we were using as both resistance and support, flipping that, right? And we saw this happen here, get rejected at the $46,000 level. Sellers stepped in big time here 2 weeks in a row. And we closed both of these below this descending trend line, okay? And so while we were watching that, we were also looking at the daily chart, looking at this double top being put in on negative divergence, slight negative, but still negative, okay? Meaning that this move here was weakening compared to this, okay? And that the bulls were starting to lose momentum, bears were stepping in, and we saw that, and you can see that very clearly here on the weekly, okay? And so we saw that very bearish, right? And so now we're coming into more short term, right? We'll go to the hourly really quick and see what's going down on the lower time frame. Okay, so now we're coming into this support level between 37 and 38,000. Okay, this morning we broke to the downside of the support that we were initially holding at 38. But now we have bounced off of that $37,000 level and come back up into this trading range up here, right? So now we're stuck back in this trading range between 40,000 and 38,000. Okay, so that's the level that we're going to play in right now. Okay, we're not going to make any major decisions until we break to the upside of this resistance of 41,000 or to the downside of this 37,000. Okay, so we have to keep in mind that we are in a general downtrend, right, from this double top on the lower time frame. Okay, obviously this is we'll find a bounce. This is going to turn around at some point, but you have to consider that we're in a downtrend there. And then in the more macro, we go to the daily. And in the more macro sense, we are in a downtrend here as well. Okay. Think about also historically, we're in a bear market. Okay. And we yes, it's possible that we're changing from that narrative, right? But until it changes, we're going to continue to believe that these cycles are going to stick. Okay. And so this is the level that we're watching right here, guys. Right now, we are still bearish. We do believe that we are in this bear market, that these lows will be tested, 30,000, very, very possible. Okay. And so we're not going to change our thesis until major areas are flipped. And most importantly, right now, we want to see a flip of this $46,000 level. Okay. We've been talking about that. When we flip this $46,000 level, that will be a big turning point where bulls really are starting to take back over, okay? And possibly sentiment is changing, all right? Again, we also have to think about the sentiment of the market and the way that these crypto markets work, because the reason why we get these big moves, these big impulse parabolic moves, right? Which we had a little bit of something in the first part of this, but we're looking more for something like this, right? And the way that they work is because it's basically all retail traders FOMOing in over the course of a few months, right? And so now this move here was entirely long-term holders. Okay, long-term holders, hodlers, big term players, right? no retail was involved with this. And that's why, in my belief, this is why we had a rejection near the all-time high. And because retail did not push that, continue and push that parabolic move. Okay. And so we have to pay attention to the sentiment of what's going on in the market. And in our opinion, the sentiment of the market right now is still very much bearish. Okay. And so we have to keep that in mind. Don't get swayed by these short-term corrective moves in this overall greater downtrend. Okay. Don't let your emotions take a hold. And we just want to play each level. Be more machine-like, not so emotional. And have your levels laid out, right? This $46,000 level is a big one for us. And so when we go ahead and we flip this, something like this, that would make us change and turn us more bullish. Okay. As traders, we're not looking to eat bottoms and tops. Okay. We want to wait until we have confirmation of each move, whether that's upward or downward. And then we go ahead and take positions and we can get the majority of the move, right? That's what we're going to be looking for, guys. So that is what we're looking for. Flipping of those two levels that we talked about earlier. One thing we want to notice is the supply per whale. So the amount of supply that's being taken up by these bigger players or whales, right? We saw this metric, big time increase. Okay. But we also talked about that we did get a slight increase, but we have also seen this metric in the past occur, these increased moves, right? We saw these increased moves like here before they go ahead and drop, and then we see further downside. And so these could be shorter term moves that these whales are playing, which is partially what we saw here when we put in that double top. Put in this double top where we saw a selling from these whales, right? And so we see further downside. And so we'll keep an eye on what this does. Do they continue to accumulate after short-term selling? Do they continue to accumulate and possibly help to start pushing this back up and bulls start taking over control? And then retail and short-term holders start to FOMO in because the price is going up, right? And so we will continue to monitor this. Guys, if you liked what you heard today and what you saw, please hit that subscribe. Send it to somebody that you think that could benefit from this. Hit the like, and we'll see you in the next video.